Muhammad ibn Abdullah is one of the most influential figures in human history and the central prophet of Islam. Muslims regard him as the final messenger of God, chosen to convey divine revelation to humanity. His life transformed not only the Arabian Peninsula, but also the religious, political, and cultural course of world history. Muhammad was born around the year 570 CE in the city of Mecca, located in present-day Saudi Arabia. He was a member of the Quraysh tribe, a respected clan that controlled trade routes, and the Kaaba, a sacred sanctuary already revered in Arabia. His father, Abdullah, died before Muhammad was born, and his mother, Amina, passed away when he was about 6 years old. Orphaned at a young age, Muhammad was raised first by his grandfather, Abdul Muttalib, and later by his uncle, Abu Talib. From early childhood, Muhammad became familiar with hardship, responsibility, and humility. As a young man, he worked as a shepherd and later as a merchant. His honesty, reliability, and fairness earned him the nickname Al-Amin, meaning the trustworthy one. These traits distinguished him in a society where tribal rivalry and exploitation were common. In his 20s, Muhammad entered the service of a wealthy widow named Khadija, managing her trading caravans. Impressed by his character, Khadija proposed marriage. She was about 15 years older than Muhammad, and their marriage proved to be a deeply supportive and loyal partnership. Khadija would later become the first person to believe in Muhammad's prophetic mission. Despite material stability, Muhammad was troubled by the moral and spiritual condition of Meccan society. Idol worship, social inequality, mistreatment of the poor, and the abuse of women and orphans were widespread. Seeking clarity, he often withdrew to meditate in the cave of Hira, located in the mountains outside Mecca. At the age of 40, during one of these retreats, Muhammad experienced a life-changing event. According to Islamic tradition, he received his first revelation from the angel Gabriel, who commanded him to recite. Terrified and overwhelmed, Muhammad returned home, where Khadija comforted and reassured him. This moment marked the beginning of his role as a prophet. Over the next 23 years, Muhammad continued to receive revelations that would later be compiled into the Quran. These messages emphasized strict monotheism, moral accountability, compassion for the poor, social justice, and belief in the Day of Judgment. Muhammad initially shared these teachings privately, then publicly, calling people to abandon idols and worship one God. The response in Mecca was largely hostile. Tribal leaders viewed Muhammad's message as a threat to their economic power and traditional authority. His followers, often from poorer and marginalized groups, faced ridicule, persecution, and violence. Despite this, Muhammad remained committed to peaceful preaching and ethical conduct. As opposition intensified, Muhammad advised some followers to migrate to Abyssinia, where they found protection under a Christian ruler. Eventually, conditions in Mecca became unbearable. In 622 CE, Muhammad and his followers migrated to the city of Yathrib, later known as Medina. This event, called the Hijra, marks the beginning of the Islamic calendar. In Medina, Muhammad assumed multiple roles: religious leader, statesman, judge, and community organizer. He established a social contract among Muslims, Jews, and other tribes, promoting mutual defense and religious freedom. For the first time, Islam was practiced openly as a complete way of life. Conflicts with Meccan forces continued, leading to several key battles. Although warfare occurred, Muhammad introduced ethical rules for combat, emphasizing restraint, protection of civilians, and mercy. Over time, alliances shifted, and Muhammad's influence expanded across Arabia. In 630 CE, Muhammad returned to Mecca with a large following. The city surrendered with minimal resistance. Rather than seeking revenge, Muhammad declared a general amnesty. He cleansed the Kaaba of idols and dedicated it to the worship of one God, reinforcing monotheism as the foundation of Islamic belief. In his final years, Muhammad focused on consolidating ethical and spiritual teachings. He emphasized equality, stating that no race or tribe is superior to another except in righteousness. During his farewell sermon, he reminded followers of the sanctity of life, property, and human dignity, and urged kindness toward women and the vulnerable. Muhammad died in 632 CE in Medina at the age of 63. He was buried in the house of his wife Aisha, adjacent to what is now the Prophet's Mosque. His death shocked the Muslim community, but his teachings endured. Today, Muhammad is revered by over 1 billion Muslims worldwide. He is not worshipped as divine, but honored as a human prophet who conveyed God's message. His life serves as a moral and spiritual example, influencing law, culture, ethics, and daily practice across diverse societies. More than 14 centuries after his death, Muhammad's legacy continues to shape global civilization. His story is one of perseverance, faith, leadership, and transformation, a life that changed the course of history.